Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have a shirt to show you today that I sewed. I sewed a prototype of it a couple weeks ago and it turned out horrible. And then I sewed another one and it was much better. So now I will show you the better version. I guess this would be a good lesson in fabric choice. This pattern is by Arlette Patterns. I got it off of Etsy. It's a cute little, you know, stretchy top with a little tie shoulder, very cute. And I thought it'd be a good way to get into using like stretchy fabric. I'm scared of stretchy fabric. It annoys me, it pisses me off, but I feel like there are a lot of cute things you could make with like a four-way stretch. So when I did my prototype, it was a two-way stretch and not really stretchy enough, honestly. So sad about that, but that's the good thing about prototypes is it's good to do them so you get those like kinks out. And also, like, I was just using scrap fabric that I get at the fabric store near me, so it's kind of like no harm, no foul. Anyway, but I'm gonna be making it out of this like beautiful like purpley wine color. It's a four-way stretch and I just thought it would be really cute. So I already cut out all my pattern pieces. I did that the other day. That's how I typically do when I sew things. I like to cut out the fabric on a different day and then sew it another day, just because like my kitchen is small. Getting the cutting mat out is like, it's just a lot of whatever. It makes sense in my brain to do it that way. Anyway, but yeah. So a few things before we get started. I don't have matching thread, but whatever, I'm just gonna use black. And when you're using a stretchy fabric, a four-way stretch or a jersey like this, make sure you have a ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pen, yes, correct. I'm using the ballpoint pen to sew things together. Ballpoint needle. You can look up what this is and someone can explain it better than I can, but my understanding is that it's not as like sharp, has a slightly rounded edge, so it's something to do with the stretchy fabric. I don't really know. I just trust what everyone else tells me, and everyone at my guy at the fabric store, he tells me what to do. So get a pair of these or a set of these, and I just affixed it to my machine. And yeah, what are some other tips with working with stretchy fabric? I have my iron out. It might not, you know, this fabric doesn't really iron too well. Stretchy fabrics and like synthetic fabrics, I find some of them don't iron super well. Oh well. And make sure you have a zigzag stitch. When I first started sewing, I thought stretchy material would be the easiest to work with just because it's like forgiving, I guess, in terms of fit. And I just like copied a shirt that I had and just like traced over it, but I used a straight stitch and I was like a busted can of biscuits in there. It did not fit. I could not get it over my shoulders and I was upset. So yeah, make sure you have your setting to a stretch or a zigzag stitch. So voila, that's all for now. But let's get into it. So at first, what we're gonna do, I have made this 2 times, but I also like just can't remember what to do sometimes. But what we're gonna do first is we have 4 bodice pieces, and this is like pretty simple. Again, it's 4 of the same pieces, so these are all the same thing. I just cut it out 4 times, and then you cut out 4 of these like strips. So you can do it an easy way, which they have, which is not doing 4 pieces and having only 2 pieces, and it's just like quicker. But I like having 4 pieces to give it a little bit more support, just a little bit more like structure when you wear it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take one of the bodice pieces, and then one of these tie pieces and sew it together at this is the top, and sew it together, sew the little tie piece onto here. So I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so that is one. So now I'm going to do this to 3 other of the bodice pieces and just tie these together, sew them together, and then I'll meet you right back here. So I've sewed all these together. One thing I will say about this pattern, these instructions, it could be that I'm an idiot. That's always on the table. Okay, that is always a possibility. I don't find these instructions to be super great, because I did just now what I did also the first time I did this. You would think that like doing this multiple times you would have worked out all the kinks, but that's not what's happening here. Which is, it just says to sew the tie piece and the bodice piece together 4 times, and that's fine. That's easy, you can do that. However, an important step I think is to make sure that you are sewing, like, how you say like, this is the bodice piece, okay? It has a slant on this side and a little tiny notch on this side. And if I cut 4 of these, and this is like, you know, there is a right side of this fabric, but it doesn't really look that different than the wrong side. That doesn't matter. But you can't just sew 4 of these together with the wrong sides, with the tie on this side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just do that, because when you get to the next point, which is you have to put the right sides together, which I fixed it now, but if you sewed them all with like the tie on this side and not with it sewn on this side, you know what I'm saying? If you did all 4 of them, then you would have, you wouldn't have your right sides together. I'm explaining this badly, but maybe you will understand. And I think that is a really important part, because then your bad side will be on the outside when you put this all together. I think that's like something that is missed in these instructions. I could be a dumbass. That's, again, always a possibility. Never off the table, but whatever. Just, if you're gonna make this, just beware. Anyway, then next what we have to do is put the right sides together of one of our pieces, or 2 of our pieces. So that's where these come into play. So you put your right sides together, and so comme ça, and then we're just gonna sew across the top, the bottom here, and the armholes. And I'm gonna do that for this piece and also for the other piece too. You sew all the way up here and down, but not on the sides, because we're gonna do something different there. I love these clips. I think they're so fun and they're useful. So I'm just gonna sew, this is upside down, this is the bottom. So I'm just gonna sew across here, and then this armhole, I didn't pin it yet, but I'm gonna sew on the top. You don't sew the little corner, so I have a little clip there. And then I'm also gonna sew all the way around this tie section, so. Okay, I got halfway through and then my bobbin ran out. So this is me winding the bobbin again. Yay. I don't know, I don't hate winding the bobbin. I just am annoyed that, like, when I started this, I was very low, and like I have empty ones. I could have just like wound another one, but I hate how like you're just gonna have to wait until you run out mid sew, and like I wish I could like wind it when it's not totally undone, but I don't think that's possible. If it is, let me know, but I don't think it is. Anyway, yes, putting this back together. I have had my this machine since like COVID. And I didn't really know what I was doing when I was buying it, and I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I see so many machines that have like the automatic threader, so they don't have to fuck around with like what I'm doing right now, and that looks really cool. Maybe I'll get one of those one day. I don't really think I'm like on that level, like X Games mode, really, to be doing that, but who knows. Anyway, so I sewed across and I left a little opening here, as the instructions say, and now I'm gonna sew around this tie all the way down to the end of this armhole, and then that's gonna be this front piece, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the other two pieces, but I won't film that because that's boring. This is random. I loved watching Harry Potter growing up. Ooh. They censored me from saying Harry Potter. They know about J.K. Rowling. Obviously watched Harry Potter growing up. Who didn't? But I forget which movie it is. I don't remember which one. But there's like some extra. Maybe it's the fourth movie. I don't know. But there's a scene, someone's yelling, someone's being like jeered, whatever, and then there's like an extra that says, loser! And me and my sisters always say that, and that's what I felt like saying when I said boring. Anyway, now you understand the inner workings of my brain, but okay. I'm gonna finish this, and I'll be back. Okay, so, I sewed all the pieces together. So now I'm just gonna make sure I cut all my threads. I always like to just cut my threads as I go, just as like, I just end up forgetting. Anyway, so now this is inside out. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn these inside out. Wait, did I do this one? Oh no! Okay, pause. I have to go back and sew the bottom of this one. I didn't do that one. Whoopsies. Anyway, quick turn this one inside out just so you can see. But we're gonna turn this inside out. So confusing. Yes. Okay. Turn this one inside out just so you can see. But I'm sure this goes through here. And after this, we're almost done. We just need to sew the front and back together, and that's that sole. I am going to try and put an iron to this and see what happens. I think it will probably do not much, but whatever. Okay. I recently watched a seam work, their videos. I love their videos. Recently watched a video about like turning out spaghetti straps and like turning things inside out. And it was very interesting to me because that's like one of my least favorite tasks to do is like turning like little skinny straps inside out. I love the way they look, but here, for example, I made this top for my sister for her birthday. It's not finished yet. I just have to add this one last tie. But like, for example, these ties are like so annoying to sew, like turning them inside out. I think you can get like a turning rod or whatever. I like to sew spaghetti straps like where you like fold it in and fold it over itself. It's just easier for me. I really cannot be bothered to sit there and like, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, but this is another thing I am almost done with, which I think is cute. So I'll drop this pattern below too. This is definitely, I would say this takes more time than the stretchy top thing, but it's like, it looks nicer because it's more structured material. But I like this. I think it's cute, and it was good to learn how to do like the curved seams. Anyway, so maybe I'll talk about that in a different video. But I made one for my friend as well for her birthday. So anyway, just an aside. But But yes, I will. Cute. So this is what we have. I'm gonna sew the bottom of these two of this piece, and then we're gonna put them together, and then we're almost done. Trust me. So. Bon. Très bien. Okay. So now that we've got this, we're just gonna turn this inside out. Again, this is the front or back piece to be determined, because they're both the same. And we're just gonna sew the sides. So the sides are undone, and so basically what we're gonna do is, oh my god, come on. Basically what we're gonna do is, there we go, just sew them together. That's really it. If I'm understanding that correctly again. I have made this twice before, but you know, it's I just forget things. Anyway, but yay. Okay, cool. So this, and this corner is a little small. I can just pull this out. And voila. Okay. Super. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is just lay these together. And so I guess it doesn't really matter again. If you had like a pattern, or if it was more clear which side is like the right side, wrong side, whatever, you could do that, but this is like, since it's all pretty much the same, I'm just gonna put these together, and I'm gonna sew down the sides, so then there's 4 layers of fabric together. You just sew that, and then that should be it, I think. Oh, and the little shoulder, we can do that, yeah. Okay, on y va. We're almost done. That's you done. That's one side, and then we'll do the other. I would say my review of, not this pattern, I'll give that at the end, but my review of working with stretchy fabric is I don't like it. I just want to like try different things and like learn more skills and stuff, so that's why I'm doing this. And like, this is cute, like I'll wear this, but I have not mastered the stretchy fabric. It just pisses me off. I don't know, like the things, you know, the fabric pieces like tend to not line up, and then they kind of have a mind of their own, and then it gets all weebly wobbly. So I mean, whatever. But I don't know, I wear a lot of, you know, clothes with stretchy, you know, material. I got this from J. Crew the other day. They're having a sale. You know, it's like I would like to be able to make things like this, because this is stuff I wear all the time. It's comfortable, and it's just like, you know, but these types of things I find unfortunately are difficult for me, so that's okay. Baby steps, but oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I just forgot like how this shirt worked. Anyway, so just some thoughts on a 4-way stretch, as you do. Très bien. Oh, and then we have to do this little teeny corner, and then I'll flip it inside out, and then we are done. Okay, party. I'm going to my friend's birthday party tonight. We're doing karaoke. And maybe I'll wear this. Let's see. It's Memorial Day weekend also. Oh, that's in case you're wondering. So. Okay. On va finir. Cute. Okay. So now, now I turn this inside out, and that's it. We're done. Cute. Okay, I'm gonna try this on and show you guys. Okay, this is the top. I think it's cute. I will insert some clips of me standing up so you can see the full vision. I don't feel like moving my phone right now, but this is the top. I think it's cute. I always have issues with tops with this section. I don't know what it is about my body or my chest, to be specific, that there's always like this gapping. So you need to do some research, because even in like a structured top like the one I showed you, the red one, there was a big gap. So I don't know what I need to like adjust on the pattern to make that not happen, but it's fine because this is stretchy and it looks fine. I would say I would rate this like in terms of skill. I would say, I mean, you could definitely do this as a beginner. I mean, I'm a beginner. I think, you know, stretching material, as I have said a million times, I find very difficult. So I would be frustrated probably. Like me 2 years ago trying to make this, I would have been like annoyed. But since I know what I'm getting into, I'm like prepared for it. And I think it looks normal, it looks wearable. I would wear this out, I think it's cute. I would say this, I cut it out in a size 10 US. I would probably, next time, probably get a size 12. Just because it's a little, like it fits, but it's like very fitted. So I would probably make this a size bigger if I wanted to do this again with like a different knit fabric. But I think it's really cute. I like it. I would wear it. I would wear it. Yeah, I would wear it. I mean, I made it. But yeah, I think the ties are cute. You can do them like a bunch of different ways. I've seen people have like some of the pictures on this woman's thing have it like kind of off to the side. That's how she does it. No, she does not. She just has like the neck like up a little higher. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, this is my shirt. Hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Again, I'll leave the link to this pattern below. Again, pretty easy, I think. And I might try and make this in a different knit, maybe like a sweater knit. I think that could be maybe cute, potentially, you know. But yes, thanks for watching my video. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. If you like it or hate it, please let me know. I'm always curious to hear other people's opinions, good or bad, because I am curious. That's really all. I have some other ideas of things I want to make and show you guys. I kind of reorganized the way I store all my sewing things, so I want to do that in a separate video. It's not like cute or like pretty, but it is useful, I guess, for me. And just kind of some tools that I like to use. But yeah, that's all. I hope you guys have a lovely, I hope you guys have a lovely day. And yeah, that's all. Bisous.